Hello, I'm Dilshan Jayatilaka. Today I'm going to present Sri Lanka stack regional government framework for the using DevOps enables my final examination of DevOps subject and basic introduction about that to stack the world globalization of the 20th century's knowledge to the centric the competitiveness of the living style in how new technologies integrated into all economics sectors such as agriculture, industry, service, or any other sector. It can impress that we advance strategies in this 20th century's new technologies integrate such innovation into our education sector and incorporate the ground-breaking measure to our economic framework in locally. The present world, the quality of the lifestyle of people who be enhanced by creating a national culture of the technical novelty. There are many urgent requirement is to implement in the Sri Lanka stack digital government framework uh, for the country. We can propose the following architecture for the government uh, of Sri Lanka. Basically, this is the Sri Lankan digital government architecture. Based on that, we have developed national data and the identity interoperability platform for the new and these are the following things we will consider. Basically, first thing is local implement high-speed optimal transaction systems, develop smart cities with digital monitoring and administrative major points, implementation mobile payment system for that financial transactions, and e-commerce and international e-payment system for that international transactions also. And next thing is the data protection of the cyber security and the intellectual property legislation. And the next thing is implement new digital education system for that lifelong learning and the develop smart learning of the universities and the higher education organization. The world innovation hub to exploit the use of new technologies, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, biography, robotic, and cloud computing, etc. The nanotechnologies. And next thing is finally establish IT centers and the business processing centers in all the major cities in Sri Lanka. And that we can categorize the following problems or gaps. Which type of the tech stack DevOps enables tries to solve it at following things like the technology and the infrastructure and the skilled person and the lack of resources, financial and the security. Basically, that the technology is the new technology that we can use that servers, skilled persons in one of the requirements principles, and like using DevOps enabled principles. And next thing is infrastructure. Need power source as electricity or any other source. Manpower, education, level of that users, you as on. These are the very basic infrastructure for that DevOps enabled stack. And next thing is skilled person. This at the moment there's a lack of skills person in that fields, and that we can consult to any other related country or developed country and skill person for due course. And next thing is lack of resources, so financial barriers, and we can avoid this using get some funding from outside of the country or some the donations. So we can find it some due to improvement of that architecture. Basically, next thing is the security. We are using that normal security way, that user authentications and using normal servers and this type of thing. But we have to do it with major security things using the cloud security, like cloud environment, the technology, cloud servers, and store data for the servers, and purchase AWS, so Google Cloud servers, or otherwise Windows Acquire, like that. Famous vendors, we have to buy some that the servers and these things. We can apply for the high security based on that. Next thing is we will talk about the related literature for that uh, the type of technology. Based on that, we will presently the DevOps is the new technology of the several association of software developments and allowing organization to achieve the scale. We have already heard about the high demands of software developments, and the agile developments, authority developments does not replace agile practice, but it provide further 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 support to complete the projects effectively by expanding the partnership and the communication with the software providers. Next, we will introduce some Singapore government tech stack. For that, some the literacy. We can conclude that the government is developing the Singapore government tech stack as a common platform that streamline and simplifies the development process. In the STDS, agencies will be able to utilize as a suite of tools and services hosted on a common infrastructure to ensure consistency and high quality in their applications. And important of the next thing is the important of that HGTS, and the following things we can show the comparison of application developments and management strategies of the system, like applications can build on reusable standard parts and ensure that the policy compliance of the build on standard parts, and ensure the robotics of the standard reduce errors, like that. And developers the view that focus on their host business applications, ensure ability to accommodate the recruitment changes in the consumer requirements, and remove barriers and the respective configurations and the environment set by flags. Then allow the set free developments, and the deployments of bugs are discovered early. And the next thing is management. Can manage and execute their organization requirement to satisfy their consumer, allows to cost saving over software use, the deliver product quickly and gathering the consumer requirements, conform compliance to secret standards, security standards. And next thing is SDS product roadmap. And that Singapore government comprise two layer architecture, the base layer and the service layer. It's components that make up by app developed by life cycle with the set up the going life system. And the base layer, basically base layer is the standardized layer with the application stack on the core. Service that management, it called service to enable ordering, running of the billing and layers of the elements. And tool chain, the main thing is tool chain developed production life cycle, and the modern the cloud, the API stacks. And tool chain can be link of the following scenario: the communication that facility communication between system and the applications, and the API cloud traffic management example, and apply services, so using service layer and runtime. There are some categories for communication and the app service and the runtime under the tool chain. And next thing is after that can be monitor the followers, monitoring tools to fact applications, participants, and the cyber security threats, and the provide provide operation transit and architecture for the Singapore government stack. The service layer is the service layer can comprise quickly developing and widely applicable reliable service components in area including app services, data and the analytical identity, all other the data exchange and gathering benefits of the SGTS. 20 years, 19 users across the 8 systems have already released the benefits of the STS by implementing their service or application on cloud. These include the time cost saving, allowing them to focus on the service and the application intent to build cloud architectures. And major areas that of the stack, tech stack of DevOps enables the basically the usability, security, and usability perspective. The Sri Lankan stack can be proposed anyone, anytime due to day-to-day transaction with easy lifestyle. Mobile app of the implementation using ID number of the user. It should be the include network and the cloud server for the storage of the data. And the security. The security must be applied with the user authentication with the most relevant information with the user. And we have to get the service. It means a cloud server from the famous, the top level vendors from that international markets like AWS, Google clouds like that, and network must handle by the authorized government organizations, and also it can be applied for that user authentication levels, administration structure level of that inside landside establishment, island-wide establishment centers also, and that get some privileges for that authorized staff of that government organization to the network to handle to efficient way and the correct path. And the services mainly card technology will serve, and also serverless technology can be used as a service and monitoring. Most of the time government authorities and the relevant authorities use can be monitors and the system data today activities and maintain of the system with all the functions and roadmap. And basically DevOps tools allows developers to shorten their development life cycle and rapidly the delivery of their software. It can be ensuring security and reliability during the development process. And common features, the common development stack and document writing and the sharing, project tracking, code source and the binary management, common build model for the environment, and manage build the engineers and automated software build for continuous integrations and secure library management in the application development cycles, release management forthcoming for continuous developments, and the delivery tool may be roads. And we can explain major best practice, provide the similar, make sure that explain this is detailed with the support. Basically that explain the majority best practice on that similar, make sure that it's detailed with support materials, but text automation of the software lifecycle, configuration management is crucial, and continuous integration, continuous delivery, and the continuous development and the monitoring of the software to optimize. And the methodology used with that DevOps standards normally explain DevOps is proposing a set of principles and the practices to the methodology in the period. The tools or tools chain is the collection of tools supporting these practices can be fairly extend new technology, and these are the basic methodology the DevOps and continuous development. We can develop that development part using Java, C Sharp, PHP, Git, etc. But continuous integrations can using an example mobile app can otherwise download app. User can download app and finally app as a services, and this is next thing is a services, and then used by several servlet architecture. We can use it as a service, as a servlet architecture. Due to user request can be implement more reliable and scalable system. Can be measured, and it should be the automated and user friendly system. Should be user can access easily and apply for that cloud servers such software as a service, a platform as a service, and the infrastructure as a service in the cloud computing as well, and cloud technology also. And traffic can be minimized using cloud server technology of the system, scalable, and can do the NDIIP model. An example, Apache web server can be used for that in NDIIP, and the security, cloud security concepts to be applied to that should be low cost and efficiency service can be provided to the users of the system, and CC, and they get from that international reputed vendors such as AWS, Windows Software, and the Google Clouds, etc. These are the checklist which can be implemented based on the DevOps. The technologies, then normally how we can use Kubernetes and the checklist. The continuous explanation can be learning of that culture, cross-functional teams to lead the changes of the organization, forthcoming customer of the centric culture, arrangement with the business grants, and observe and realize software lifecycle, and exercise the source control and the modifications also, and the automated faster developments, the continued integrations, continuous delivery, and the distribution, continuous feedback, and get that use the codes and using these continuity, and that my experience with practice used for the implement the model SLTS system like Sri Lankan tech stack, that normally the system should be automation and multiple tests going for the parallelly, and SLTS integrations. We can use the find the reports, dashboards, and these things we can integrate based on that the proposed system. These are the basic idea about SLT system for that the proposed one. This main thing is should be the automation. Tool used for that text automation as follows. We can use Selenium, unified functioning testing also, and that continuous integrations also, and we can apply. And some of the tools used to continuous integration such as Jenkins, GitLab, and TeamCity like that, and continuous delivery, and some tools used in the continuous delivery like Jenkins, Buddy, and continuous development, and some of the tools used in the continuous development, and AWS, Costdeploy, and Genius, SeamCity, like that. And further, DevOps solution and service contain DevOps assessment, continuous integration, continuous development, and continuous testing and the deploys pipeline using Docker and Jenkins. And next thing is final thing is monitoring, and system should be the monitor time to time and get the report as well. And some of the tools are used for the monitoring, and Splunk and monitor monitor and further tech dev OPS monitoring solution to be enroll the usability of more services with the application and the continuous delivery pipeline with the Docker and the Kubernetes. Thank you.